सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति 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 increase பண்ணும். The first two verses mean the verse 2 and verse 3, where Krishna introduces and explains these two terms, Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Kshetra was introduced as this, the body. We understand it includes body plus all that is associated with the body, which is Jiva. Then we have this second point. Kshetrajna is the consciousness, the pure consciousness. Then we saw that this Jiva has two aspects and the Kshetrajna has two aspects, microcosm, macrocosm, individual and total. Why we have taken up total, you will see today. Right? Even though he is referring only to this body, why we have to interpret it as totality? We will see that. Because for Kshetra, he includes everything that is created. Even though he starts by saying this body, it is not only that one body, he is referring to the entire creation. Since Kshetra is taken to be entire creation, then we have to include the other aspect also. That's what we have seen, how there is a connection. And this understanding of Kshetra and Kshetrajna is called knowledge, he says. Jnanam. What is Jnanam? Because Arjuna had asked this. What is knowledge? Now Krishna says this is knowledge. Why this is knowledge? Because knowledge means something which should not be changing. That is called a knowledge. If it goes on changing, it's not knowledge, that's ignorance. Imagine every time you say one thing. How can you call it as knowledge? Knowledge is changeless. And this is the only knowledge which is changeless knowledge. Everything else keeps changing. As we keep inventing new equipments, what we see changes, therefore what we conclude changes. There was a time once we had an equipment with which we could go maximum up to molecule. Couldn't go beyond. After some time we have developed further, a new equipment came. With that new equipment we are able to see up to atoms. Beyond a molecule we could go up to atoms, but we didn't know, can atom be broken or not? Then further we developed, now we are saying atom can be broken into 36 parts. right? And then it will go on. In another 50 years down the line, another equipment will come, something else we will see. Now the question is, whose site is correct? See that? If the first person is correct, then the second is wrong. If the second is correct, then the first is wrong. But then science, they don't say no. No, no, no. It's not like that. You are able to see that second is because of the first. Without the first, second is not possible. Therefore, you cannot dismiss. Otherwise, what we should have done is we should have taken back the prize, Nobel Prize given, no? Rutherford molecule. You should have taken back. Oh, he's wrong, no? Nobel Prize list is, the name is still there. No, it's not possible. Conclusions keeps on changing. Why? Because equipments keeps on changing. Subtler the equipment, data is new data, new conclusion. It's as simple as that. As we keep on changing our equipments, making it smaller or making it bigger, it doesn't matter. But once the equipment changes, gadgets change, perception changes, conclusions changes. How much ever you can go with any number of gadgets you can bring in, this will not change. That's why he calls it as knowledge. This is true knowledge. Why? Because this alone has the property of fixation. It's stated, nothing can be done. You cannot change it. That's why we call it as Vedanta, end of knowledge. End of knowledge, further is not there. Then this knowledge alone has the capacity to do one thing. No other knowledge has this. Every other knowledge, every other information that you get, every other understanding that you have creates further doubts. More and more doubts you get. More you understand, more doubts. The moment you understand this is a mic, instantly so many questions will come. Who manufactured it? Who designed it? Who invented this? How this mic reached on this table? Who kept it here? You know who kept it here? Terima? Yeah. Who kept it? Even I don't know. Because when I came here, it was here. I don't know. It was there. That's it. Now, how from this I'm speaking, you are hearing from there. Sound is coming from here, but you are hearing from there, not here. How this is happening, I don't know. I can go on adding question after question after question only on one. For every answer, what happens? More questions will come. Every understanding creates more ignorance. This is the only knowledge where understanding doesn't create further. There's nothing more. It will not create any. Sir, I am not able to understand, you can ask. That is possible. That is there. I don't understand. How is it? What is this Kshetragni? Oh, how do you say this is Kshetra? How you arrive at this? Can you explain it further? You can ask. But the moment you understand, after understanding, it will not create further. Therefore, this is the only knowledge that can satiate your quest for knowledge. Chandogya Upanishad, this is what Narada says. I have studied this, I have studied that, and he goes on giving a huge list of PhDs, where all he has got PhD. In this subject, I have a doctorate, in this subject, I have this subject, I have this subject, I have this. In spite of having all that, he is telling Sanat Kumara, I'm not satisfied. That satiation I haven't got. Is there anything which will quench my thirst? And Sanat Kumara gives this knowledge and says, this is the only knowledge that will give you. What is that? Knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetragya. That's the statement here. That's the knowledge. It says, that's why we call this as Mahavakya. Not because of the big statement, it is because of the result that it produces, the impact that it has on the student. Therefore, we call it as Mahavakya, Mahat Prayojanavat. Therefore, it is because it is giving you, because it leads you to a great result. We are calling this as Mahavakya. What is a Mahavakya, sir? The relationship between you and God, Jiva and Ishvara. You say Jiva and Ishvara, you will not understand. That's why I'm saying first you and God. What is the relationship? So that relationship we studied through this example. What is the example? Huh? Wave and ocean and water. From the angle of wave, ocean is the cause, wave is the effect. The moment you go into the essential ingredients of the wave, what is it made up of? Also, you go into the essential aspect of the ocean. There you understand what? This is also water, that is also water. From there, what is it, sir? There is only water. There is Aikyam. So the sambandha, the relationship between Jiva and Ishvara is studied from two angles. One, you consider yourself to be the wave, or you have the option of considering yourself to be water. Don't think, am I the ocean, sir? You are not ocean. Okay, this is what people take. Immediately they'll say, oh, wave is equal to ocean. Huh? Wave is not equal to ocean. Remember this. When Vedanta says your own self is Brahman, that Aikyam, we are not saying wave is equal to ocean. Wave is not ocean, please. As long as you believe yourself to be the wave, you have no idea of waterhood. You know only wavehood. As wave, you can never equate yourself to ocean, nor you can equate yourself to water because you don't know. So first thing you need to understand is this. So lot of criticism, lot of objections will come. And that objection is only this. How can you say wave is equal to ocean? If you believe yourself to be the wave, then you are the effect, there is a cause. Ocean is the cause, wave is the effect. The creator and created. The moment you understand yourself to be water, then there is no difference between water, wave, water, ocean. There's no such thing. The moment you understand water, it is just water. That's it. There's nothing beyond. So the essential aspect of the jiva and the essential aspect of Ishvara, both are one and the same. What is the essential aspect of the jiva? Jiva is equal to two: spirit, matter, atma, anatma, consciousness, pure consciousness plus matter. Then Ishvara is equal to Brahman plus Maya. Like this matter, which is not the essential aspect of the jiva, similarly, Maya is not the essential aspect of Ishvara, Brahman is the essential aspect of Ishvara. Then what is Maya? Superimposed. Then what is matter? Superimposed on that pure consciousness. Out of ignorance. Out of ignorance, you superimpose the matter on Brahman or Atman. So, what is Atman, the essential aspect in the Jiva, and what is the essential aspect in Ishvara, which is Brahman, or one and the same? Exactly like water in a particular name and form is wave, water in another form is ocean. You strike out the names and forms. When you take out the name and form, what is left out is only water. Same way, you strike out the name and form this side, which is matter, superimposed. What is superimposed there is Maya, strike it out. Then you have only Brahman. This side you have Atman, that side you have Brahman. Then we ask this question, what is the nature of this Atman? What is the nature of this Brahman? When you see, it's one and the same. This is also H2O, this is also H2O. Therefore, same. All this is covered. Right? There's two classes too much. She is getting restless. Are you going to move to the next verse or not? She was asking me in the morning. At least today you will move to the next, or you're going to continue the same? I said, I'll move today because I'm getting bored. Verse 4.
Kshetram yachaya driccha yadvikani yataschaya sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena meshvanu tat kshetram yachaya driccha yadvikani yataschaya sachayo yat prabhavascha tat samasena meshvanu.
What the Kshetra field is and what it is like, what are its modifications and whence it is, and also what he is, and what his power is. That hear from me in brief. Samasena means in brief. Like before submitting PhD, you give a synopsis. Like that he is going to give now. That's what he says. In brief, I'm going to give you, and he gives the list. This things I'm going to give you in brief. What is the list he is giving, sir? First he says, I'm going to teach you what is Kshetra. He only introduced the idea of Kshetra. Okay. Now he is going to explain what is it. What is that Kshetra? Kshetram. And this is where he is going to give the entire world as Kshetram. Earlier he said only this body. Right. Now he is going to say all that is created, that is called Kshetram. That Kshetram he is going to give it in two aspects. Right. One aspect is from total, another aspect is from individual. All he is going to put together and give. So he is going to cover the world and the Jiva. So which means the Jagat and Jiva. In that Jagat Jiva club together, in this, which all accounts for Kshetram. And what it is like. What is the nature of it? What it is like, character. And what are is modification. Yat vikari. Modifications. Vikara means, modifications. This vikara is taken from two angles. Logic. Nyaya Shastra, when you go, there they will study this. Modifications are of two types. Say, it's worth noting here. One is clay modifies to become pot. Clay becomes pot. One. Another case is milk becomes curd. They're not one and the same, no? Vikara of milk is curd. Isn't it? Modification. It is the milk became curd. Same way, the clay became pot. Now we have to acquire modification. Which type of modification here? What is the difference?
What is essentially clay?
Curd is also essentially milk, no?
The curd cannot become.
Correct.
Curd cannot
Exactly.
become.
Logician. We have one. Two logicians in same house fight. Only those two give answer. Fight. They fight logically. What's the difference, sir? So even though that clay has become pot, the pot can be reduced back to clay. You can bring it back to clay. Isn't it? Whereas, when milk becomes curd, can you bring it back? The difference. That's the vikara here. So Vikara, when he says, now which type you have to ask immediately. It's a modification. It's a product. The product. What are all the products? Further development of it. That's what he is going to give here. The seed is in one condition. It's the same thing. Another type they give, which is the seed and the tree. Remember these three examples. Clay pot, one example. Another example, or you put it this way. First we eliminate. Which one we eliminate, sir? First eliminated one is the milk curd. Is it like that? No. Then we ask this next question. Oh, then is it like clay and pot? You say yes. Still there is incompleteness. Still it is not complete. A better example they give is, it is like seed tree. What is the difference? Difference is only time. Right? The tree and the seed are one and the same thing viewed from two different periods of time. At one point of time, it is called as seed. The same seed is what is standing here as tree. So, it is not actually creation. Like pot is created. Here it is what, sir? It is evolved. That itself becomes it. It's the same thing. There's no difference. You shrink the tree, is a seed. Expand the seed, that is the tree. So there is a cause and effect relationship. And this cause and effect relationship flowing is called the world. Isn't it? What is world, sir? Cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. It's all happening. Where this whole thing is happening, it is happening in the platform created by time and space. In the platform of time and space, there is an event happening. What's the event happening, sir? Cause and effect. So that's the Vikara. Vikara means that. Means the cause and effect. Modifications, changes, products, production, evolution. Any words you want, you can use. All these words put together is called Vikara. Vikara is taken as distortion also. There's a pun there. Is also Vikara. Right. Spoiled is also. When milk gets spoiled, it becomes curd. Spoiled milk. Curd. Don't say, no, it has, probiotic and all that. Yeah. There's a different. Modifications. When is it? Yataha. From where? From where it has come? What is the source of it? All this. And also, what is the prabhava? What is his power? Saha, he. Who's that he here? He means Kshetrajna. Kshetrajna is what he is referring as he. I'll explain what is that he. Saha. And what is his prabhava? What is his power? What is his power? His power is to stand as a witness. He is a witness for the cause and effect. He is not the creator. Unlike we have this pot maker who sits and makes the pot. There's a pot maker who's making it, and he has an intention. Like that, is there an intention for that creator? No, there's no intention. He has no intention of creating anything. In his presence happens. Ocean is not having any intention to create the waves. The moment there is a vast sheet of water, there is wave. That's the prabhava, the very power, the very nature, the glory of the Kshetrajna. What is it, sir? He is just a witness. In his presence, everything happens. He has no intention to create. Because the moment we say God created the world, next question will come is for what? For what? For fun. Huh? For his fun, I have to come here and suffer, is it? Is God or a sadist? Hmm? And if God would have created the world, pathetic creation. He doesn't know how to create. Steve Jobs much better. I would have, replaced. Brahma, take rest. Steve Jobs, create man. Better creations will come. This is the way to create. Huh? All the valuable things very less. All useless more. No? And then we say, sir, it is valuable only because it is less. If it is more, why that, contradiction? Paradox after paradox only. Life is full of paradoxes. Why did he create the world? When you ask this question, no answer can give you satisfaction. He has not created. If he has not created, then how it has happened? The vastness it happens. It is so vast. Ocean is so vast. Waves happen. Automatic. The moment there is a vast sheet of water, there will be waves. You can't escape. You will never get a wave in a bucket. One full bucket water. Where is a wave there? In a swimming pool, there is a wave. Someone has to disturb it. You disturb it, there is a wave. Otherwise, what is it? It's just there. No waves there. But in the ocean, there is a wave. How? Vastness. That much of quantum of water is needed. Vast sheet. There is ocean. There is wave. But ocean is not sitting and thinking, let me create waves. It's not. The seed is not thinking, let me create this. Then what is he, sir? He is the seed, he is the soil. The same thing becomes the seed, same thing becomes the soil. Can he be two in one? Yes, it is possible. That's why we give this example of ocean. It's the same thing. One thing that there's only one. There's so much of wave there. All this I'm going to give you. How? In brief. In brief, I'm going to give. And he gives a list. And he promises to deliver. What is Kshetra? What it is like? modifications, and from when. 4 points. Then 2 points with reference to Kshetrajna. What he is, who is the Kshetrajna, and what is his glory, his power. 6 points I'm going to deliver. Verse 5.
ऋषिभिर्बहुनागीतं छन्दोभिर्विविधैर्वृतः ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितैः ऋषिभिर्बहुनागीतं छन्दोभिर्विविधैर्वृतः ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितैः.
Sung by sages in many ways, in various hymns, as also in distinctive precepts, indicating Brahman, full of reason and certainty. Now he is giving the glory of that knowledge that he is going to give. What is the greatness of that knowledge? This knowledge is available only in the scriptures. That's the gist of this verse. What he is saying in verse 5 is, if you want to understand Kshetra, Kshetrajna, don't go to economics. Don't go to physicist and ask him about Kshetrajna. That's what we are doing today. We go and ask a scientist, can you explain what is consciousness? The consciousness is not the subject of there. Because consciousness is the subject. Now, entire study done by the scientist is objective. Now, how can you understand objectively the subject? It's an impossibility. That's why, suddenly there is a huge cry came about, God particle, God particle, God particle. And then they asked him, "What? You found God particle?" He said, No. I found a particle. For that, I don't know what name to give. And I want to make it popular. Therefore, I gave it a name, God particle. And you fellows also dumb idiots. Something I give a name, God particle, you guys come and ask me. Suppose if I have given some other name, duck sticky, is a name given to that. Now, who will bother? That will be discussed only in some forum. Some forum, there will be some discussions. In that discussion, they will be talking about duck sticky particle. Now that I have called it as God particle, entire media is after me. He's a scientist come businessman. He's a smart fellow, he is. Simply he gave a name, God particle. Immediately all these fellows went to him and said, "Oh, you found God, huh? You found God, huh? You found God. Huh? I found a particle." For that he gave a name. That's about it. How can you go there and ask? It's exactly like you come to Vedanta and ask about chemistry. What is a molecule of water? How do I know? For if you want to understand this, you should go to chemistry student. Don't come here. The mistake perennially humanity has been making, particularly when it comes to these two. Whatever the scriptures declared, is kept as a reference point for assessing whatever science says. Any new discovery of the science is weighed in the scale of the scripture. Is it not? That's why they killed, this guy, Copernicus. Burnt him alive. Why? Because the scripture says Earth is the center of the universe. But Copernicus says Earth is not. Sun is the center. Earth is revolving. How can you say against it? And all of us today sit and criticize that generation and say primitive people, stupids. What are you doing? Are you not doing the same mistake reverse? What is a reverse mistake, sir? Proved by science. So science have to acknowledge whatever is being declared by the scriptures. The scriptural declarations has to be assessed with that, full stop. Don't bring in the parameters of science to define that. If they are wrong, we are equally wrong. Is it not? In what way we are better? We are only reversed. That's all it is. And then we are saying humanity has evolved. Evolution. Reversing the mistake, is it evolution? Scripture is the only source, remember. If you have to understand consciousness, you have to come to scripture. There is no other way. You cannot get it anywhere else. And that's what he is giving here. And he gives beautifully, says, it is sung by sages in many ways. Is the Chandobi. Chandobi means he is referring to the Vedas. Because the entire Vedic literature is presented in a meter. The meter is also called Chandas. Now, there are very many meters in which the Vedic hymns are. So the Veda itself will be called as Chandas. Chandas is one of the Vedangas. Meter, study of the meter. Same way, the Veda itself will be called as Chandas also. Why? Is because the whole thing is in metrical. So therefore, the Veda itself is called. And in many ways, so many ways it has been sung, means spoken about, taught. That's the meaning of it. Sung in the sense, not like actual singing. Don't take it literally as singing. Singing means explaining, stated, taught by sages. Sung in many ways by sages. Sages means those who have realized, those self-realized souls, those masters, they have spoken about it in many ways. Why many ways they have to speak about it? Because the audience are different. That's all. Just a question of audience. That's why if you go to the Upanishads will speak, moksha is the word used. Moksha is the word. Samadhi. Samadhi. Di means buddhi. Sama means equal. Samadhi. And this moksha, samadhi, going on for a period of time. A point came where this became too much. So many times it has been used. So people needed a new way of presenting. Therefore, Buddha comes and says Nirvana. This is Nirvana. Now what is it? It looks new. Right? But what is stated as moksha, what is stated as this, why they have to use new words? Like housewife to homemaker. Isn't it? Why? Changes, no? Housewife. No, it looks very. Now, homemaker, when you say it looks new. Same job, no? Right? Is any difference between housewife and a homemaker in terms of what they do? Ask a wife to explain, housewife to explain job description. Job description of housewife is same. Job description of homemaker is also same thing. But then by calling it as homemaker, it looks different, right? You feel different, no? Same way, many ways they have been using many words. Why? Depending on the context. Right? I say Father in heaven. He goes on saying Habba. Why? That's the audience. Depending upon the context, depending upon the scenario, we keep changing. See? That's why he says many ways. Why many ways they are speaking, sir? Not the content-wise, there is no difference. The content is same, but the presentation varies. Why the variations in presentations? Because of the need of the hour. What is required at that time? That is presented by those masters. Thus, he says, sung by sages in many ways, in various hymns. That various chandas, various hymns means that. Also in distinctive precepts indicating Brahman. Brahma Sutra Padai. Veda is the primary text, fundamental text. And when you go to the Vedas, there are so many aspects are there in Vedas. Because you will find in Vedas teaches so many things. It includes even ways and means of fulfilling your desires. How to fulfill your desire? I want to get fame. What should you do? Do this. And then I want to have a child. What to do? Putra Kameshti. You do that. And this one. So many things are there in the Vedas. Now, for a person to understand what is the essential teaching in the Veda, have to go to the message there, the central message. The central message was taken out and given in the cryptic format. That's called Brahma Sutra Padai. Krishna could also be including the text called Brahma Sutra. You see, Brahma Sutra Pada means Brahma Sutra could be referring to the teachings, the essential teachings of the Vedas. Right? Upanishads. What is the essential aspect of the Vedas? Upanishads is the essential aspect of the Vedas. What is taught in the Upanishads is the Brahma Sutra. Is the knowledge of Brahman. Also, it is referring to the text written by Vyasa called Brahma Sutra. Right? Brahma Sutra means the knowledge of Brahman in a cryptic form. Sutra means that. Of course, Sutra has a very many lakshanas to it, but essentially what you have to understand right now is a cryptic statements is called Sutra. Formulas type of. The essential teachings of the Upanishads taken, this Brahma Sutras were taken as the secondary texts. Then primary text is the Vedas, which he referred to as Chandobhi, Chandas. The Vedas is referred there. Now he is saying the secondary texts. So the primary text and the secondary text, both are there. And it is so interesting why he is using the word Chandas there. Right? Very interesting how they expand these ideas. He's simply making the statement and moving out. But the commentators sit and inquire and say, now why he is calling, he could have called it as Veda only. Right? Why he uses the word Chandas, meter there? Because in any knowledge transaction, there are two aspects. Because knowledge gets transacted only through verbal. You may say, but we read books, sir. Books there, no? Have you ever observed how you read a book? You read a book? Newspaper at least? When you are reading, what are you doing? You are speaking and you are hearing. Isn't it? There also you are sounding only. Only thing is what? It is not coming out as out of your mouth, but it is happening internally. Remember, don't say that reading is there, sir. In reading also not happens only through sounding. You have to sound, you have to speak. All knowledge gets transacted through sound. And sound has got two aspects. One is articulate, another one is inarticulate. Right? Articulate is definitive meaning. One word, one meaning. A king is different from a monarch. Isn't it? Not the same. King is a king. A monarch is a monarch. There is a difference. Right? Like we say, a brook is different from a river. Isn't it? River is different. Brook is different. So when we say brook, we understand it as this. When you say river, you understand it as that. So there is a definitive meaning for a definitive word. One word, one meaning. One meaning, one word. Sometimes one word can have many meaning also. Isn't it? Sound horn. Have you seen that? The truck they will written behind. Sound horn. Horn is sound thana. Horn is what? Sound, no? There, what is a sound? Sir, sound here is not the sound. Sound here is what? The act of sounding. Noun illa sir, the verb. I say, oh, I didn't knew this. I used to really wonder. I said, sound horn, sound horn, sound horn. I never understood that. Now, fortunately, I asked someone who had some knowledge. He said, sound, it's not a noun, it's a verb. I said, oh. Appa religion noun verb. So people say no. Are you religious? I say yes, I am. Huh? In a difference. You are using the word religion as noun. I am using the word religion as verb. Automatic. If you don't understand, that's your mistake. Like when they write sound horn, if I don't understand whose mistake it is, mine or theirs, it's my mistake. One word. Here it means something else, something. There it means something. Sound it out. Huh? He's very sound person. Means what? Noisy. He's trustworthy, He's a solid personality, sir. Sane. Put it very grossly. Sane fellow. Sane. One word. Here one means, there one means, there one means. To specify a thing, you have a word, and one word can have many meanings. You see, this is the articulate aspect of sound. Right? Those who have understanding in that, those who are trained alone will understand it. Those who are not having the training will never understand it. You see, that's why when someone were to speak a language which you don't understand, it sounds like what to you? I never understood. I never knew there is a language called Marathi, which is different from Hindi. And people in Pune speak Marathi. I thought everyone in, the moment you get out of Tamil Nadu, everybody speaks Hindi. That is our understanding. Right? We're all brought up with that. So I go there, I stay in the academy for about 3-4 months. After about 4 months or so, they speak, right? The kitchen staff, they speak. They talk to me, I talk to them. They talk to me. I don't understand a single word, but they somehow understand me. I don't know how. They are understanding. I said, see, I can, when someone speaks about 100 words in Hindi, I can pick up at least 2 or 3. Right? But when these people speak, I'm not understanding a word, man. Why? I say, because they are not speaking Hindi. The fellow said, because they are speaking Marathi. Only then I understood, oh, there is a language called Marathi. Everything looks same. Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, right? All sounds, same to my ears at least. I don't know about you people, but to my ears, everything looks same. Like, a few years back, I took a group that's the last time I took a group from Bangalore. After that, I said, you guys want to go to academy, you go, I'm not coming with you fellows. Ages back. I took a group. One fellow had come. And there is these people are there during, karma time, after class, from 11 to 1, each one will take up one work and we do our own. Some karma will be done. Work. Just to spend time. Otherwise, what to do then? 11 to 1, what to do? Something to be done, no? So we said, okay, we'll do karma. Each one of us will take our own things and do. We're doing. So I was there. Suddenly one boy, came running from boys' hostel. I was in the bungalow, having some general gossip, conversation, gossip. And this fellow came running. Ishwar. I said, what happened? I think, 2 of your guys were fighting. Ashram, you go and you fight there. What to do now? It's like, yeah, they are, Bangalore group fighting. I said, Innada fighting, I said, okay, I'll just go and check it out, It's very embarrassing, I had to go. Going there, a fellow was talking to his wife on phone. Conversation. Not that he's shouting at her or anything. Just having a conversation. All of that. That sounds, he's speaking in Kannada. And this guy is from Australia. Right? He thought the fellow was actually fighting, He genuinely thought. It sounds like that. What to do? Why? No training. For sounds, for language, for any word, you need training. When you are not having the training, you will not understand. This is one aspect of it. The sound has another aspect to it. That is the dimension of the inarticulate. The sound has a flavor by itself. The sound vibrations. It doesn't require any specific training. Even there is no training, you understand the sound. Shh. You understand what? Keep quiet. This training la. Even your dog will understand. That's how communication happens with dog. People think, dog can understand words. They don't understand words. They understand what? Inarticulate sound. That inarticulate sound, it picks up and it behaves. It responds to that. And that response doesn't require any specific training. That's universal. So the sound has articulate meaning, same way the sound has inarticulate intonation. You see that? It has two aspects, remember. Every word, everything that we utter has two aspects. One is the articulate definitive meaning. Second one is inarticulate intonation. The entire mantra shastra was evolved based on this intonational value of a sound. That's why if you hear that sound, it looks very funny. Haim, Klim, Klum, Klong, all that will come. Like Chinese names, What is that Haim, Klim, Klum? What is the meaning of that? There's no meaning to it. But the sound has a value. The sound has an impact. So when he says Chandas and Sutra Padai, because Pada means that. Pada has a definitive meaning. A statement from which you understand something. That's called a Pada. Pada means that. Collection of words. Brennan Martin, statement. First thing he teaches. What is a statement? Statement is a collection of words with meaning. That's called a statement. It should have a definite meaning. That's called pada. Pada means that statement. Sutra pada means cryptic statement on Brahman. Brahma Sutra Pada. So Pada statement which gives you an understanding, a statement by which you understand something, communicate something which is definitive meaning. Sang refers to what aspects are intonation value. So the Shastras carry what? The Shastras carry both. there is intonational value to it. You understand certain aspects, even though there is no definite meaning to it, it creates a particular climate in you. The sound. Then we have this definitive statements. Sutra Padai. Brahma Sutra Padai. So he could be referring to the statements of this, or like another master interpreted it as saying he is referring to this Brahma Sutra textbook. So he has referred the Upanishads, the Vedas in the first one. Next one he is talking about is the Brahma Sutra text written by Vyasa. It could be anything. Now that's up to you to take it. Anyway you take, the meaning is not going to change. Right? This distinct precepts, how are they presented, sir? They are presented with full of reason and certainty. Beautiful it is. You can talk with so much of certainty about something without any logic behind it. I'm telling you, I have seen. So what? So, or you find people give logic, and in that logic and reason, you don't come to any specific conclusion. You can never conclude anything conclusively. But there will be a lot of reasoning happening. Typical example is all the debate clubs. Literary debate clubs. I don't know how many of you have been. Anybody? Earlier, you have been there? Debate clubs. Very interesting. They will go and sit and discuss and discuss and discuss and discuss. Final conclusion is what? You need both. For a happy family, husband or wife. 1.5 hour discussion. Final conclusion is what? You need both. Are you 1.5 hours? Huh? Both are needed. You can have logic and logic and logic. Logic can lead to uncertainty, inconclusivity, and doubt. Certainty is definitive. So he says, this knowledge is how it is full of logic, arriving at a definitive, certain conclusion. Superb it is. Yes. How convincing it is. It's not blind faith. It's not a blindly you have to accept, please. You do the reasoning. You do the inquiry. You do that investigation. With all that investigation, you don't go confused. Don't say, sir, after class, that's how we are all going back. You chose such a teacher, what to do? You should make a wise choice. Confused. No, there's no confusion here. There is such clarity it gives. It gives such clarity. And because it is speaking with such conviction, doesn't mean it is not available for investigation. You can investigate. You can question. You can inquire. But it's not leading to confusion. Now, our thing is that the moment you start thinking, you get confused. So long as you are not thinking only, there is clarity in you. Isn't it? The moment you start thinking, confusion. Confusion means what? Indecisiveness. There is no indecisiveness here. It is so decisive and clear. And certainly he says, the glory of that knowledge that he is going to impart. So he is giving what he is going to provide. Verse number 4. Verse number 5, he is qualifying that by explaining what is the greatness of that knowledge that he is going to impart. Understood is what? Pay attention. Understood is? Come next class. Such a glorious knowledge that you are going to get. Don't miss it, man. Because obviously Arjuna would have got little tired, little fatigued, right? 35 qualities for Bhakta. Nothing will be clear, No. Now suddenly he gave one Mahavakya. Arjuna would have completely missed it. No, 200% sure. He wouldn't have got that at all actually. Krishna would have seen he is not reacting. Since he is not reacting, he is going back to saying, okay, don't worry, man. See, already he has asked, Arjuna has already asked the question. Explain me this. Now, why Krishna is again saying in verse 4, I'm going to explain all this. Give the answer, man. No. Why? These are the things we should understand. What must be happening in that long conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. See, there's a good chance that Arjuna would be losing his concentration. So to bring back that concentration in him, Krishna buys some time. And always the easiest way to get that attention of people is to explain how great what he is going to give us. See, like how they end every Friday episode. Weekend you can't sleep, The wife has mixed the poison. That's how they end always. It's funny, she has given that fellow first night. She is giving him that milk to that fellow whom she doesn't want to get married to, and she wants to kill that fellow. And she has schemed and planned to get married to this guy only to do this. I don't know why you have to do all that. Want to kill, just go take a dagger, push it, go. No. And all those things, 267 episodes over. Right? Then finally, she has mixed that poison and he is about to drink and she is looking at him. He has taken that, has kept it on his lips also, to be continued. And then Monday, there will be someone coming and knocking the door. You have to keep it going, no? How else to do that? When they write, they start this, they don't know the stories actually. None of them know the story. They just start. And then people will give reply, no? And then as and when goes, sometimes, the senior artists are there. These guys will say, sir, next, another 20 episodes we need to record now. Now you talk whatever you want to talk. I got it from one of that fellow who acted. Yes. They tell, we don't, dialogue. Who writes dialogues? The director just describes the scene. We have experience, no? How to keep you alive? How to keep your attention? You have to create that tempo. How do you create a tempo? One way of creating a tempo is to make a confusing statement. That's one of the ways of doing. A staggering statement. Another way. Intellectually, a stunning statement. Another way is to explain the glory. Explain and say, you see that how beautiful it is, how great it is. The greatness of it is when it is told, obviously, a chance of getting back to the track. So that's why Krishna is using these two verses, verse 4 and 5. From 6 onwards, again, he goes back to the concepts. Right? 6, 7, is just you have to mug it up. There's no philosophy. Philosophy is over. 2, 3, philosophy over. Now, 4 and 5, he is explaining only the glory of it. What is it and how great it is. And then he is giving the fundamentals. This is theorem, right? What you are going to see in verse 6, 7 is theorem. What you have to do, sir? Simply mug it up. There's no other option. This is to be memorized. When you're fast asleep, you wake up and ask, what is Kshetra? You should say, this is equal to Kshetra. Is what you should say. At least 2 verses. And then he is not explaining Kshetrajna. Then he jumps over to Jnanam. What is knowledge? And then he concludes. And Kshetrajna conclusion happens only in the 15th chapter, not here. Right? He states here, I'm going to give you a brief, but the real crux of Kshetrajna comes only in chapter 15. Right? Now he has already stated, so he is going to finish that aspect of it only in the 15th chapter. So up to that, we don't have much to worry. We don't have to worry about Kshetrajna. Now we have to pay attention only to what, sir? Kshetra. What is the Kshetra and what is Jnanam? These are the 2 aspects which takes the major portion of the chapter. Right, verse 6 and 7. Next week.